let's do a little more 1 minute. I'm going to play knight f3, e3, and c4. And I'm going to play d4, knight c3, bishop d3, play for e4. Good move. Yeah. This person knows their semi-Slav. I'm going to play e4, e5 though. Black probably will play e5 themselves. I'm going to line up my rook with their queen. Maybe play bishop g5 next. Maybe that allows ed4 and bishop h2, so I'll play h3. Probably I should look for a4 somewhat quickly. Ooh, nice move. Okay, I'm going to play a4. I think my queen's okay on f1. I'd like to play d5 at some point. Further undermine their queenside pawns. Maybe knight f5 coming, and then queen g4. Maybe I should have played queen g4 first, I'm not sure. Right, queen g4, if knight f6, I have mate on g7. Do I actually have a threat? Rook d7, because knight h6, the queen's loose. Okay, I'm just going to take here and then take on c4 and say I'm up a piece. Or up, I have two things for the rook. Maybe f4, try to distract the bishop from its defensive g7. And we got there. And I've trapped the cat in my ring, so I'm going to let her. Alright, that one went swimmingly. I sort of like this setup against the semi-Slav. I think dc4 is a really nice move. If black goes passively, there's a really wonderful Pillsbury game where plays bishop c2. Ooh, am I going to remember how this goes? I had this memorized for a while because I was doing a memorization project. So the threat's bishop g5. And that's a really annoying pin. So black plays h6. White plays bishop e3. Maybe not the most precise, but reasonable move. And black does some slightly peculiar developmental scheme. Maybe queen c7, queen d3, starting to ih7. Ooh, not entirely sure how this goes. I think it's Pillsbury and Marco, so I will Google that. 1900. Pillsbury, incidentally, comes from Somerville. I come from Somerville, Massachusetts. He is the greatest player ever from my hometown. It's not Pillsbury Marco. That's another excellent game Pillsbury played. Alright. I would like to find this because I truly think it is a special game. Maybe Pillsbury Winnower, 1896? Yes. Okay. So yeah, queen c7. Right, and here, Pillsbury makes a really interesting decision. Because anytime you play c5, it gains space, but it concedes the d5 square to the knight forever. So he plays it here because he sees this really specific idea. That's black's turn. What does black play? Black plays rook e8. Sorry. He plays it here, bishop f8, knight e5. And Pillsbury's really famous for getting these knights on e5. But this seems to concede a tactic. Bishop c5. Because if pawn takes, queen takes e5. But Pillsbury had this all figured out, and he plays the brilliant, which he has to have seen before knight e5, bishop h6. And the really cool point here is on gh6, queen g3 check, anywhere the king goes, king f8 and h8, either one is met by knight g6, and then queen takes c7. His opponent played bishop d4 to move the queen away from being able to come over to the g file. I think Pillsbury played queen f4 here, but I will check. Yes. Played queen f4. Knight comes to d5. There was no way to save h6 because king g7, queen g3, right? And we're going to have the same problem where anywhere the king goes, knight g6 check and grabs the queen. So knight d5 is played. Queen h6. Now, if queen takes e5, we have a standard mating net that everyone should memorize. The bishop and queen are very good around the king. Queen h7 would allow the king to escape. Therefore, black played f6, and Pillsbury, just playing magnificent chess, played f4, just looking to bring more pieces into the attack. His opponent tried to defend, and then knight g6, and they're threatening queen f8, queen h8. Black resigned. So I think this is a really cool game, but also shows what white is looking for when white plays this kind of slow e3 line with castles and then plays for e4, which is if black takes. This pawn structure may not look like much for white, but black is just a little too cramped. They never really have the breaks working. White's going to play bishop g5 if allowed, hence why Winnower played h6. White has these mating ideas, the knight comes to e5, and the whole game's just emblematic of the kind of way white should play. So what black players have figured out is they take on c4. As soon as e4 is played, they take on c4. Now e5 is threatened, so they play e5. Now, my opponent took on c4 a little earlier, but it's the same basic idea. Is taking on c4 and then playing e5 is much better than allowing white to play e4. So, okay. We've played one game, so 4 more to go. I'll try not to spend so long after each, but I really love that Pillsbury game, and anytime I can emulate it, I'm very excited about it. I'm going to play the Advanced French. I've been quite excited about this line recently. I'm looking to play dc5, and then b4. Yeah, and the bishop's trapped. I'm going to win some time on their queen. So if I try to chase their bishop, I am pinned, so it doesn't really do much because my rook's not defended. But I think they're not spending their time usefully. I'm going to try to invade. Maybe take on d7 and play bishop b5 sometimes. Now this is game over. So I'm forking the queen and d7. Alright, they're going to keep trying. I'm just going to take things. I think I can defend everything they can attack. Maybe knight g5 next, threaten e6. Do I have anything cute? I'll just save this. If they take on c2 and then b3, my queen comes into c7. I can keep taking things. I'm going to play knight g5 next. I probably have to speed up, but I'm now threatening knight e6 followed by rook e7 checkmate. And now it's just knight e6 checkmate. Alright, so 2 for 2. And I always had trouble with this position when I was playing the Advanced French. I'd play the castles and the Milner-Berry gambit. But I think if black does not waits on taking on d4, you can often just take. And this is an interesting position because, as we saw in the game, black played knight e7 and their bishop was trapped. But if the knight goes to h6, I take it and ruin their pawn structure. And I am threatening b4, and the bishop doesn't really have a good square to go back to. So a lot of black players play a5 here. And then I think white plays knight d2, and one idea is b3 to d4. White's supposed to have a little advantage. I think it's a pretty reasonable line to play. Alright, 2 for 2. Let's play e4 again. I had fun that one. I'm going to play bishop e3. e5 is the main move. Knight f3 is an interesting try. So here, normally white plays bishop c4, but black stops it. I think white now tries to trade queens to achieve it anyway with queen d3 and c4. It's a little odd. Don't remember it super well. Maybe I'm supposed to play a4, a5 first. I don't really know. But my idea here was queen c4. That the endgames where black has the backwards d-pawn, if I can control d5 and not let them get rid of it, I like my chances. That's going to be my idea. Is my opponent disconnected or are they confused? Alright, they are stopping my idea. Now, I don't have knight d5, maybe a4. Now knight d5. Ooh, queen d5, bishop d5. So I don't really love how I've played this, but I'm still going to try to trade queens. They don't have the backwards d-pawn anymore, so they can play f5 at some point. So this should be a pretty pleasant position for them. Maybe I can sneak in on e6. Maybe they played this a little hastily. Hitting b4, I'm hitting e6. Still hitting b4. Okay, I'm going to take on b4. My knight still might be able to annoy them from e6. I might be able to pressure d6 with a move like knight e4. I'm going to keep my bishop on e6. I think I'm going to play as if d6 is the weakness, rather than trying to play knight e6 immediately. Rook d1, maybe pick the wrong rook, not sure. Knight d6, with the point that after we trade, if they take on b3, I take on e5 and defend b2. I don't think this is a concern. I'm going to play rook c1 next, try to invade on c7. Just come back. Maybe play rook c6 next, hit a6 and f6. Yeah. So they lost too much time in the opening. I think I played this opening wrong, though. I think the idea of queen d3 and queen c4 makes sense with black having the backwards d-pawn, but I think I should prevent what happened in the game, play a4 first, and then play queen d3. Make it hard for them to control the c4 square. They do have bishop e6, but then knight g5, I can try to get the two bishops. And maybe a4, I can also consider a5 here with moves like knight a4 to b6 coming. So I don't remember exactly how I'm supposed to play against queen c7. I know one idea is to try to trade the queens, but I think I got the timing of it wrong. So, alright, 3 for 3. Let's play 2 more. I keep getting whites. I've bribed chess.com a lot of money to give me white. It's a little suspicious, I agree. Okay, didn't bribe them enough money, though. I'd like to play a Budapest. I haven't gotten a really fun one on this. So there's this old game with knight c6 here against the Stonewall, and the point is I can trade off their good bishop. And with their good bishop gone, black is not supposed to have serious problems. I'm sure I'll find a way to have them. I'm going to avoid queen b5 check, which I guess I allowed last turn. But, you know, their dark squared bishop is obviously not so good. It's blocked by all of their pawns, and their pawns already control the squares it would help with. While their light squared bishop, excellent, really critical to white's attacks in the Stonewall type lines. I'm just going to try to undermine their center. The f-pawn is a little shaky. Now I have pressure against e3, maybe rook e8 or d4 coming. Rook e8. Their rook's a little loose with their knight there, so I was thinking like maybe bishop e3 sometimes, but I don't think I had anything there. I'm just going to start trying to open lines. I may have blundered this. Maybe d3, though. Ooh, I don't think I have it yet. Maybe bishop g4? Nope, doesn't work. I was thinking because I have d3 at the end and some lines would check. Okay, they're too afraid of that. So, all right. Now we've played far too slowly because I got distracted thinking about the opening. And so we are in real trouble. I don't want to get my bishop trapped. Now my knight's going to come back to e5. They're playing quickly because I am in huge time trouble. I'm going to pre-move queen c2 because I have 7 seconds left. So if I play something, they play something it's bad against, I was going to lose the game anyway. Guess rook d8. Maybe rook d1. Okay, well, we blundered our queen, but yeah, and our rook. Alright, so we can resign this. They played queen g7 because they were just trying to win on the clock. Bit silly. So we're 3-1. But so I think in the opening, knight c6 is a neat move that takes advantage of this specific move order. Because the idea is, I threaten e5 and I threaten knight b4. So if they stop knight b4, I play e5. If they stop e5, I play knight b4. And either way, white has made a major concession in their desired Stonewall setup. So I think white should probably play f4 or c3 first to stop this idea. Because I do think this is supposed to be equality. This was found late 1800s, I think. And is a really creative idea because it's not the move you'd think of. Black normally is going to undermine with their c-pawn. But they can actually play knight c6 as well. In this very specific move order. Alright, so we're 3-1. We have a master. Let's go for a Petrov, or 4 knights. Okay, I think I should play for the center against this kind of thing. I don't know where my break is, so I'm gonna try to open lines. Maybe bishop h4 next. Alright, I feel like I've accomplished something. Maybe f5? Keep trying to open lines. They can play e5 and probably should. I come back. Maybe takes, bishop e6. Bishop seems to have some potentially good squares, threatening knight g3. Now I have a check. No fear. I'm going to come to e7. Maybe go to d5. They can take on h4. Ooh, they can just take an h4, because when I play knight d5 after they have a discover check. Okay, they didn't see it. I guess I should take on e2 and play knight g3. Just grab material. Come back. Right, now I gotta be quick, because per usual I am down on the clock. Maybe queen b6 to a6. Happy to trade queens. Right, still happy to trade queens. Maybe h6 and g5. Okay. They have a nice center. Trying to play rook d8. Yeah. My bishop going to be trapped? My bishop's trapped. Okay. Luckily I have a pin. Down on the clock. Should be winning on the board, but not trivially. Alright, blundered that. It's fine. Play g4 next. Alright, it's made a couple. Alright, wasn't quick enough. Alright. 3 and 2. I like trying to blast open the center immediately when white plays a little passively, but I'm not sure I should play d4. I think white's undermining with f4 can be effective. Though here, h3, and they left their king a little open, so I tried to get in at the weak squares. And I think I did a decent job of that. I did blunder right around here with knight e7, because they can just take on h4. And I thought I had knight d5 check, and then I could recapture, but they can play bishop takes d5 check in response. They missed it as well, and I got a winning position. Maybe I shouldn't bail out by taking on h1. Maybe I should try something more active, maybe something like c5 at some point, or maybe taking on c3 here. This is winning, but they have a nice center, and it is not trivially so, especially because I don't have much activity and I'm behind on the clock. And then I tried to make moves quickly, saved the piece, but then hung the rook, or hung the exchange. Rook g2 was a nice move from them. Yeah, it's just a time scramble. Alright, 3 and 2. I think I played some interesting games here. Cheers.